Hello, sales professionals. I am super excited to talk to you about something today that I feel like is the one thing that's important to know, but the thing that not a lot of people like to talk about. So we have leads that come in, and then we want to have money that comes out, right? So I want to have a candid conversation with you about the 8 things that are the must-haves, systems and skills that you must have in order to have lead follow-up go into lead conversion and domination. I'm Kim Barber with Kim Barber Group and eXp Realty, and I've helped thousands of owners and agents with real estate since 2004. So what are the 8 things? So in my experience, this is what I see a lot, where we get a lead, we're out and about, we get a lead, or we get a lead that's online and coming in, or we're at an open house, and we don't write it down, or it doesn't get into a system. And that is the number one thing, is to, when we get a lead, to put it into a system. So whether you are using kvCORE, Boomtown, Real Geeks, Excel, Follow Up Boss, whatever it is that you're using, we have to get the lead into the system. And if that means writing it down in your phone, get it into the system. Number 2, when we're having the lead into the system, we need to fill out the profile, right? We need their name, we need their email, we want to get their address, we want to make sure we get the phone. Why? Because we need to follow up with them, right? And so I really find it very funny, and I've done this in the past, and I've seen teams do it, I've seen agents do it, where we don't have a profile. If we want to mail to them, if we want to email to them, we have to get that information in there. If it's one of our friends, right, that we are hoping to get referrals from because people like to work with who they know, like, and trust, then we really need to go through the extra effort to get their address, right? That makes sense. So that's the first thing. Get the lead, put it into your system, fill out their profile. The third thing to understand is the amount of effort that it takes to get that person from beginning into an appointment, or hopefully into a client. Statistics that say 87% of agents fail in the first couple years, and that businesses will fail in the first 5 years. One of the primary reasons why is because we don't do the first couple of things. And then this one, it takes an average of 8 times to get the appointment or to get that person to become a client. 8 times. Most agents stop after 2. Statistically, 60% of them never call at all. So you get a lead from, and they don't pick up the phone and like say, hey, thanks for calling on my listing, et cetera, et cetera. So remember, it takes this 8 times. The 4th skill that we have to learn is how to build rapport. There's different layers to this. So in the systems and the skills, we need to just make sure that we understand how to build rapport. So what does that mean? When we want to build rapport, there's kind of 4 different personality types, right? There's extroverts, there's introverts, there's analytical, and there's what they call expressive, right? There's demanding people that are kind of over the top. There's people that, oh, everything's roses and daisies, which is fine. Or there's like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, this many square feet, this yard, and they become very analytical, right? And all of those are fine. We have to learn how to interact with all of them. So that's the number 4 thing, is we have to learn the skill of identifying people, their personalities, and how to communicate with them, mirror their language, mimic their behavior. So if they're like this, maybe you want to lean in and kind of do this too. If they're using their hands, use the hands back. If they don't put your hands in front of them, might freak them out. The 5th thing, which is a system and something to remember so that we can enhance our rapport, is called FORD. Something to keep in mind, FORD, F-O-R-D. F, family, O, occupation, R, recreation, and D is dreams. So we want to learn, ask questions about their family, understand maybe why they want to live in a certain place. That could be because of their occupation, their recreation. I want to be bike trails. I want to have a 20-minute commute. And then also their dreams, right? I dream of owning a horse farm. I dream of living by the beach one day. I dream of being able to walk everywhere. I dream of not being able to hear my neighbors. So also the dreams are, hey, how was your vacation? So find them on social media, ask them about their family, and that helps build rapport. So that's the 5th thing, FORD. It's a great tool and technique that, write it in your notes, what they like, hey, how's your kids, etc. So number 6 is follow-up system. So what we want to do is we want to create tasks, put them in our calendar, put them in our schedule so that we know when to follow up. So for example, you meet your friend out and they say, hey Kim, I want to sell my home in a month, a year, in 2 years. We need to create a schedule for knowing when to call them and when to follow up, right? So put them in your system, make a note, keep track of them, where they want to move, and then have a system that you can do to stay on track, create the task, create the schedule. So number 7, with that follow-up, if you want to get more sophisticated, you can automate it, but create your campaign, right? Create a campaign, and what I mean by that is, how am I going to follow up with them over the 12 months? So what are you going to do? Are you going to email? Like, for example, they're in your system. Are you going to email like every couple weeks? Am I going to call them every couple weeks? Am I going to send them a mailer? So decide what it is that you want to do, put it down, and then create your system on how to do that. So number 7 is create campaigns with automation. So create campaigns means that you want to follow up with them, you understand their timing, so map out how you're going to do that. Or if you have friends and family that you want to keep track of and you want to do events, right? Create a campaign that says, I'm going to do an event in February, I'm going to do one in November, I'm going to send a mailer at this amount of time, I'm going to do my newsletter, I'm going to do a video, and decide when you're going to do these things and stay in touch with them. If you want to do automation, that's perfect, so that you know when to get a hold of them. So that's really where you want to move to, which is creating an automated campaign so that you can know, hey, it's been 90 days, it's been 6 months, and then you can pick up the phone or you can send them the mailer. The 8th must-have for lead follow-up domination is this: have a plan for keeping the client through the client lifecycle. So what does that mean? You have people that you have people that know, like, and trust you. They have already bought and sold with you. What you want to do is have a system to keep them through the client lifecycle. So for example, again, I'm going to call at this amount of time. I'm going to thank them in a year. Hey John, thanks so much for working with us last year. How's the house? Right? Set up a timeline so that you know when it is in a year. Set up the timeline so that you can send them the calendar invites at the beginning of the year, and do things that allow you maybe 6 times a year to make sure you're in touch with them, get connected with them on social media, but create a system so that they are your client for life. So again, if you like this information and you would like to get more details about how to build rapport, how to do these things, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And then you can find the videos that talk to this topic and help you increase your lead conversion to make you more money.